Hey guys, and welcome to the Mysteries of Selindor, episode 130. I am your GM Gagnor, and we did a whole bunch of stuff last week. Big old fights, rebirth of a character. Anything else, Seti, that's important?
Wow, like basically, yeah, just Orin fused with OG Orin, so now the two souls are one person. And we successfully put him into his new body, or he put himself into his new body. And now the avatar of Northot that his old body became when he left it is trapped in the floor of the apperception chamber. There is an inevitable involved, and Primus helped us out, and Archibald got in trouble for doing soul magic like that. There was like some mysterious god that was like apparently lecturing him, but we couldn't really understand what he was saying. And I think that's about it.
Sorry, forgot I'm the one who talks next. Yeah. So, with that, as Orin takes a few steps forward, a sort of glow to his golden flesh. You see that his fingers sort of undulate in weird manners. You see sort of mechanical parts adjusting underneath as his fracture takes hold within his hand once more. You see light pulse around his head as a crown, as another fracture takes hold. As he looks, his head shifts from side to side, and he opens his eyes, and you see blue light for a moment pulse. His wings unfurl and stretch. Orin, you remember everything. It's hazy still, but you can sense the memories of your childhood, your time serving Mount Celestia. You remember dying in battle. You remember your purpose when it was remade for you, and spending all these years watching what you thought was you. But you remember all that as well. Your life, everything up until now with your friends. You remember back before even that, before even the old you, walking the streets of Sigil, communicating in a way that seems so familiar and yet so distant and lost with your fellows. You remember your master, if only just her face. But you're brought back to the present as you look at what was once your body entrapped in the floor, still fidgeting in strange, almost violent spasms. The inevitable seems to hover in the area surrounding it, moving very cautiously and observing it, its body whirring and clicking, as if it's doing some sort of process that you aren't able to understand. And yet, looking at it again, it's as if you do. Understanding the inner workings as the machinations of Mechanus fill your spirit. Everyone else, as you see him unfurl and open his eyes, what would you guys like to do?
Rhapsody's immediately rushing up and kneeling down in front of him. And not
I need to go do a vital check.
Yeah.
You're going to do a what check?
That a vitals check. Gotta make sure he's like his vitals are functioning.
All right, so you guys just come up and start like medicaling him.
She's probably checking on him as a person. Okay? Grim's checking on him as a body. So I'll just make a medicine check while she's talking.
It's
It's 29.
it's you in there, right?
Yeah, I'm in here.
Oh, thank God. She wraps her arms around me.
Pretty sure I'm naked right now, so I'll kneel down. And as you're hugging me, I'll whisper in your ear, "Can I have my clothes, please?"
We'll clothe him.
What did you roll for your medicine check? Or did you roll a medicine check?
I rolled a 29.
29.
So just
Sorry.
like while they're talking, just like I'm probably like lifting up arms and checking under things and just.
Yeah, as you check, everything seems to be in order. You check his pulse. It is exactly 1 beat per second.
Just
Is that good?
just going over, making sure everything.
His breathing seems to be in perfect harmony with his heartbeat. Everything seems to move in perfect sync.
Okay. I can't check like
And
obviously
you see his
I'm not an
gills
expert on the
further out. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm an expert on the mechanical stuff, so I'm not going to check those parts. But like,
Yeah.
like the things that I can check.
Yeah, he does seem to be working in perfect order. Sorry for interrupting. Back to you,
No,
Warren.
no.
Yep. After hugging, I'll just get dressed. Put
Yeah,
my
you guys watch as he
equipment
puts clothes
back
on. And as the door opens and Archibald comes in, he says, "It's funny how modesty suddenly fills your mind. We've been looking at your naked body for the past several months."
Well, it was a naked body. Now it is mine.
Ish posh, ish posh. And you can see, even though he's got this fake human mask on, he looks weary.
How does everyone feel? Is anyone hurt?
I'm just gonna head back over to the Northot Avatar, just like ready to wreck his ass if he causes any trouble.
Like I think everyone's relatively beat up.
Hmm.
I'm feeling fine, more or less. Sorry for dropping out so soon inside the inner realm. I thought I had it, but
Said he's
apparently
definitely
there's some more
holding
studying I
clearly.
need to do.
No, you did great. It was just caught us by surprise a bit. How hard it is. You're really okay.
I'm fine. I think Oren's the only one who really matters right now.
I'll be okay after we rest. I think I'm alright.
Well, he's like, he just looked for a second. He's like, "Oh my god,
I'm missing
How
32
did I
hit
forget
points,
to
but I
ask
still
how
have
she was
100.
doing?"
So we got like
Says,
some
"I know
cuts
you."
and bruises and some.
He's like, "You're always okay." It's like, "You're a light." Strange how I never worry about you.
DM's too busy doing other things
Yeah,
to be a good boyfriend.
to be a good boyfriend. Yeah.
Should we? I assume Primus is going to take care of this thing.
I hate
Sort
him.
of here.
Remember, look at
a
the
little-
automaton and be like, so do we need to kill it now? What do we do?
Like,
Are
you
we
guys
just
hear
gonna keep it?
telepathically from it. It says, "Do not approach. This is my quarry now."
Okay.
All
I
right.
hate to leave it alive. Who knows what can be done with it, but I'm definitely not going to mess with anything else today. We have a lot
Well,
to
we
do
know it
if
can't leave here, so that's good.
not on its
Perhaps
own.
he's gonna do a mass cure wounds just in case. Make everybody feel better. Yeah.
You know?
The door opens once again, and you see, accompanied by the automaton that brought you here initially, is the old, doddering body of Primus. He goes, oh, hey, well done, everybody. You appear to be alive and such. Oh, it's quite good. You know what? This little thing comes over and starts poking the Northot body with his foot. Ah, got you now, you little fuck. Oh, look at you, Orin. Looking good. How does it feel to wear a bit of Nirvana in your flesh?
It's going to take a little getting used to, I think.
Indeed, indeed. You have a long way to go before you're truly one of us, if that's the path you wish to walk. But as an entity, you are unique now. Try not to abuse the privileges you have been given.
I will do my best.
Well, this is ours now. And you watch as he gestures, the entire floor begins to move mechanically and unhook from itself. And a big section of it that carries in it the body of what was once Orin and is now just a Northot incarnation is slid out of the room as the wall itself peels open. And he disappears into the Verboten reliquary.
Oh, neat trick.
Well, there you go.
We will be doing some work with that.
I hope it provides usefulness.
Of course.
It wasted so many spells. It likes to jump around. It's awful.
And now you see why a council of gods are worried about the existence of this entity. I know you've all dealt with it, but only tangentially. Now you understand that being the lowest form of him, is quite the challenge.
Yes, I don't. Well, what we've set out to do is always felt impossible. It feels. Well, I don't know if it's more or less impossible feeling now. If that was just an avatar, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of those.
Well, one less of them now, right? Well, one less out there causing trouble.
That's true. We just need a
And
couple thousand more versions of us, and then we can go wipe them out in an afternoon.
Well, as much as I wouldn't mind reprinting you all as automaton versions of yourself, which would be quite fun. Destroy your psyche as we split it over 1,000 entities. But I think we've broken the rules of the universe a bit too much already today. Wouldn't you say so, Archibald? But of course, yes. I think we're probably going to take a bit of a break from it for now.
Thank you for your help, Archie. We couldn't have done
Copies
it without
don't
you.
work the same anyway.
You absolutely could not have. And the next time that you venture into one of my stores, well, please be sure to respect the new employees. And he stands up and he walks out of the room.
Alright.
Come along, Sebastian. We have many things to attend to.
Good luck.
He says new employees. Did you think maybe did he like do a twofer? I think maybe.
I think he might start merging with himself again.
Yes, there's only one way to find out what he meant by that, and that's to go shopping. But
Maybe that ritual. Maybe that ritual is like a one-time thing. Maybe he combined more than just Orin.
We'll find out, but we do have some rather pressing things to deal with first. Actually, though,
Yes.
Primus, since you're here, I had a question that's been bothering me.
Oh, yes. Please speak freely.
The Magister said that you had requested the Atlas for the competition. And I was wondering why you did that if you don't want Anvaruna to have an ephemeris. Because if you did want them to, they probably would already.
Did I ever say that I didn't want them to have it? I don't recall.
Well, if you Right. I'm just saying, why don't they have it already if you do want them to have it? Have you not made up your mind?
Nothing earned. Anything gained without being earned is worthless.
I see.
Their journey is their own. I merely provide a path for them to walk it if they so desire. I will say that Inveruna has its uses. For me in particular. For the real me, anyways.
I don't
The
suppose I
rest
could...
of my mind is very occupied, so you must deal with this.
I'm dying to know
Grim's
what
gonna
their
see if he
uses
can
are.
act. Grim's gonna see if he can like do this like without triggering anything with the thing, um, with the bracelet. It's like, could anybody act as a? Well, he's gonna try and say host.
Hmm. I think the word is acceptable.
He's gonna say for the Star Mother. Like he's specifically talking about her.
I think that's an okay statement as long as you aren't mentally directly relating it to the process that Inveruna is using. If you're in your mind, you're thinking about that process, then your voice stops for a moment.
Well,
You realize you're
wondering
starting
if
to edge across the line.
well he's trying to say is that something that, or is that something that Northought's done? Like, is that what's Northought's done? Or is that something that somebody could do?
I understand what you're saying.
Like, or you know what I mean? He's trying to say,
you
is that something
rephrase
that
the question? Just realize that if you're relating it to anything that Inveruna said that you cannot speak
he's
of,
trying to like maybe hint at it, like, or say like, is that something, like, or like, yeah, he's trying to be coy about it. Like, or trying to imply that, like, because obviously Primus knows what they're doing. He knows what their plan is. But like, well, I just ask it, like, is Northought a host for the Star Mother?
he looks at you with a little bit of like. You can see that there's a pensive look in his eyes for a moment. He says, Northought has certainly made use of the Star Mother. A host is a very interesting term to use. Remember, fractures were created by, in essence, Northought, the means of which are a mystery to nearly everyone. But when you mention the Star Mother, an entity like that might have been useful if not required.
For creating fractures.
Indeed.
I see.
We always know that whatever Northought is, he is consuming other creatures. He is doing something with their vital essence of their soul. He's splitting off what he does not need, and that is what becomes fractures. But what he does consume, we believe he must use it for the greater machinations of his plans. Whatever those are, well, who knows?
But we do believe he has consumed a lot of her.
It is hard to say for certain, but I would believe that her or an entity like her would be required. Again, I've heard this term, the Star Mother. Again, most of my mind is occupied. But I believe it to be some sort of other eldritch entity. And they have very specific rules about how they interact with the universe. Whereas gods interact with the universe as the concept of a certain thing, be it war or love or death, the aspects in which mortals interact with the greater universe the lens by which they view it, eldritch entities interact with the very laws of the universe themselves, such as the forces of gravity or time, the very fabric of atoms.
So, like, the Star Mother could literally be the entity that put the stars in the sky and made them combust.
Well, I haven't gotten that feeling from her. She's. I know she is like a seed or a mother or she's similar to the tree in a way, but I don't. It's hard to say. It's hard to get that idea of what really she is. But I
I
still
could not say
haven't.
for certain myself. If a part of her were to come into my possession, I'm certain I could discern it with time.
Well, do you have a part in your possession? No, you don't anymore, do you? Hmm. It might. Do we know of any other unbound ephemerises?
There is one within the Verboten Reliquary.
The one we brought.
Well, that's the one we already know of. That one does not.
I think Greed is making another in the far realm. I don't remember why I think that. It's just a think I have.
So some other entity in the far realm by the name of Greed. A very foreboding name for a creature to be making an unbound ephemeris.
Oh, well, he used to be a tiefling that was traveling with us, and then he disappeared in the night. I think through the one we gave you. And now he's in the far realm becoming something else.
Odd. Odd indeed. I was not sure I was completely
the
aware.
renegade or the... And Veruna knows of him. What did they call him? The rogue?
The rogue, yes.
The rogue. He's doing something, but we don't know what. We don't know if it's helping us or
If they
hurting us.
know of this entity, they have not informed me. So for some reason, Peto Talrain seems to think it useful enough to keep it secret from me and our partnership. As partnerships go, and he winks.
I don't like him and I don't trust him even a little bit. I don't think he has anyone's best interests at heart except his own.
You should not trust the creature known as Peto Talrain. In any event, he does not have your best interest in heart. But that does not mean that your causes cannot align.
So what would bring more balance in order and chaos? You having a piece of the Star Mother to study, or in Verona having an ephemeris?
I think that would only
That I do not know. I do not like dealing in chaos. Although, while I admit mistakes I have made in the pursuit of order have often created it. In the eternal calculus of the universe, I am not certain, perhaps if I thought on it wholly, as to whether or not Verona will do good or bad, create chaos or order. But I know that for my own plans, they are necessary.
Ooh,
So if you wish to destroy them in some way, I would try to give you pause unless you wish to fulfill their role in their place. If that's a sacrifice you're ready to make.
We could certainly talk about what that might entail. Because I
Well,
wouldn't trust
first I
them with the fate of
believe
the universe.
that you should decide what you would like to do concerning them and get back to me.
Well, I can tell you what I would like to do. I would like to not deal with them at all, and to prevent them from gaining any more power than they already have. Because I don't
Well,
trust
if
them
you-
at all.
If you want to be, well, there is a way to, what do you say, with food. The people who eat food, have your cake and eat it too. But that requires doing something that I don't know if we have a way of doing it, but I have an idea. You would have to find a suitable person to do it, though.
Is this something we should talk about just to those of us with bracelets?
Yes, but first we have to ask Lord Primus about one more thing, which is the floaty lady with the swords around her head. If he knows anything about her.
Floaty lady with swords?
Said he
She
will
is-
do a minor illusion that looks like the lady we saw.
He looks at it pensively for a moment.
She is from this place before it was this place, we think. When Orin
Strange.
was when Orin was Orin before he is Orin.
I have no memory of this entity. And if they are from this place from before, that means that they are kept from my memory by an intelligent force.
Who could even do such a thing?
Something seems familiar, and yet I cannot place a name to her.
My illusion will also include little pop-ups of that runic language, like the equations and runes and stuff that I saw. See if that jogs anything.
He sees it. He says, "And those."
Would I recognize those now?
Oh yeah, you absolutely understand them. I'm not sure what messages she's popping up because I'm not sure she knows. I mean, it
Yeah,
looks
it's like gibberish.
probably-
Like
Insulted his
when you have a
mother.
dream and you think you're speaking French.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's,
you can
it's
see. It's
I mean, I wrote it
it's
down,
Like
I gave it
peanut
to you.
butter, Jack horse, rabbit going to the moon.
Should we make like a divine intervention roll or whatever?
yeah. Is it accurate to what I saw in my dream in the dream realm? How
To
good
That's
is
you,
my
like an
memory?
intelligence check.
If you, I think it's better to just say that it's gibberish, more or less, that she's popped up at this moment.
That's all I can remember off the top of my head. Clearly has a sketch somewhere.
So
Oh
I'll
yes,
I'll probably just be like, you know, I can actually read that now.
Huh?
And what you've actually displayed makes no sense.
Oh.
I don't think it's the correct order.
Well, we'll dig up the notes I took later and see if those are any better.
Somebody was saying it's like before. It's like before thought, right?
Primordial days?
Or something.
well, the primordial language is something I'm quite familiar with.
Before primordials.
Oh, you mean before the beginning?
I mean, who knows? If you don't, then who does?
No one knows what was before the beginning. It was before thought. How could you know?
What is before thought? It's what you
I feel
have.
like I would have an idea of when that was.
Before thought, you have what concept?
Make me a history check, Orin.
History.
I mean, I know I'm not the smart one in the room, but there had to be
Ooh.
an ending before a new
21?
With a 21, I think you know that this language isn't from before existence. This language is your language as creatures that serve your master. And you get a little smile uncontrollably across your face because you know that you communicate in this way basically so mortals will never understand what you're saying. It is the inside language of you, the ones that serve your master.
Okay. I don't know if I would tell them that.
It's like a divine thieves
it's up to you
chant.
what you would like to say. Yeah.
It's like our own thieves' cant.
It's exactly like that.
I'll just be like, I don't think this is a language that any of you will understand. But it is not from before primordial times.
He looks you
Well,
over
that's-
and he says, I suppose you would know. Well, as it is, I do have many things to attend to, but you have done a great service at this time with providing me with, well, what was once your friend.
Research material.
I will take this matter to the council, you should know, so you may speak to it freely and you will not be betraying me in any way.
Good to know.
There are many that study within the Nexus that will be interested in this. I know your charisma will be all over it.
Could we, by chance, get a lift back to the cauldron?
Going back to the cauldron already? That is
Yeah.
unfortunate. What will I do with this box that has arrived? Come to. And you see the tubey one that you know is like kind of like the token tube modron of the tower. Just comes. Hello there! Package for Septimera.
Oh, I love packages. What is it?
It's just a plain kind of wooden box. And it says, like, just etched in like really bad handwriting, but Sylvan. And it says, from your sister from Dad.
Wow, he needs to work on his penmanship, like really bad. Just take a little peek inside.
You look in and you see what appears to be an endlessly unfolding poppy flower that seems to be made out of rubies.
That is super cool. Okay, well, I was going to say I needed to make a stop before we go anywhere else, but now I don't have to because it's here. So that was convenient.
Oh, very well. Now that you've received your package, I believe
Thank
Tube
you.
deserves a tip.
Oh, I hold
Tube's
out.
got a hand.
I put a gold in it.
He takes it and he goes, well, awesome. Fantastic. A piece of metal.
Would you prefer like a muffin
He
or
takes
something?
it and he attaches it, like, it just like magnetizes like a little metal onto his chest. He says, my honor is intact. Farewell. And then he tubes into the ground.
Is he just like a pneumatic tube, like at the bank?
Kind of. But he has like a human eyeball.
Ew, okay.
I mean, what do you tip a tube? I don't know.
Well, I thought
I don't
he'd
know.
like
He's
more
quite
metal
pleased
for
with
the
his
pair.
metal now.
Yeah, all right.
Give him some lubricant, maybe?
He says, very good. Well
Thank you,
then,
Primus.
of course. If you'll take them, friend. And you just see a nod, and this is the one that seems to have like a kind of you can see what appears to be almost like sand pouring behind like the metal gearwork helmet. Some of it times flowing up, sometimes flowing down with this green glow coming from behind it. Just kind of nods. Says, well, best of luck to you. And I suppose enjoy your time back in the cauldron. I will be
Make the
making
most of
some
it.
reports to the council, so you need not, Cleary. Oh, thank God. I'm so tired of writing reports. Good. Well, I can help you out, old scribe. In the interim, I'm sure they will have much to say to you on your next council excursion.
Yes, we'll have to make one soon. Thank you again.
Well, enjoy being wet, I suppose. And he sort of tatas out of the room. You can see that there's Modron like popping around fixing the massive amount of scarring within this apperception chamber, and are just like sweeping up like big piles of flesh that have just been like turned to like ichor melting on the ground. You can see that they're just like starting to sweep it into the corner, like shoveling it out. And then the automaton that you know now know is an inevitable opens the door to the side and leads you back to that same half disc.
Grim will say, "Okay, happy birthday," and he'll just hand Oren the achromatic fracture that he has.
Oh, thank you. I guess it kind of is my birthday, isn't it?
Oh yes. I guess if we're doing birthday presents for you, and he goes, Crumples. And Crumples comes over and says, "Happy birthday!" And he like gives you a bunch of pieces of paper that are like the notes that he had taken from the language.
All right. Well, thank you.
I'm sure you'll find a way to understand yourself better that way. This is the best I could do. They're like perfect.
Oh, this is great. Thank you. I honestly wasn't expecting anything.
Well,
I'll
I
see
wasn't
if I
going
can
to use
magic
that.
up
It's
a
not the
good
mushroom.
cake later.
Well, I can't use this fracture yet, but I'll hang on to it for when I can.
You mortals are wasting much time. Please board the craft.
I figure we're on it
I
and
just
we're
assumed this
talking
was
while
as
we're
a walking.
We can talk and
Your
walk.
emotion is causing hesitation. As the disc takes off, you soar through the verboten reliquary. Once again, you can see like the bits of dust in flecks and sparks hitting against this invisible barrier that domes this strange craft. You pass once again outside the tower and are underwater. It is only a few minutes of journey time before
So what
you
day
arrive.
is today?
It's only been like 5 hours since you guys left the cauldron. The time it took you to get there was only like 5 or 10 minutes, and then like the setup time for the machine was like a couple of hours.
But I mean, like,
And
how
then-
long until we have to give our answer?
Hang on.
I believe you guys still have 20. It's like at least
Hang on, I'm doing
almost a day, if not a whole day.
math. 4. We have 43 hours left.
Oh wow, that doesn't sound right.
I've been keeping meticulous track. When we left the cauldron, we were halfway through our 4 days.
Oh wow, so you guys technically almost have 2 months left.
If we choose to spend it all in the cauldron, yeah.
Well, I need to do some training with this new body.
Yeah,
in
we
the
got it.
least. So
Yeah, so let's get back to the cauldron and then we'll take care of our to-do list. We need to
You
get
do
Orin-
notice that as you begin moving your like hands and fingers, what was once restricted to your hands, you can now make small gadgets like manifest and appear out of nearly any part of your body. You find that you could, from the tips of your fingers, just make like little small lasers that let out little points of light that you used to come out of your fist seem to come out of you almost mechanically now, as you could use them to like write if you wanted to, or do small soldering work. It feels, what was once something that was added to you now feels a part of you.
makes sense. Gonna have to try crafting some more with this new body as well.
Try fighting. See if you're still as good as you were at punching things.
Yep, definitely.
I'm glad
Oh.
they're okay. I'm glad everyone's okay. Things got pretty scary for us.
I almost didn't make it out.
I was there. Yeah. How was it on the
Think-
outside with the?
I got real lucky in there.
We went
It
so
just-
many places.
They just kept jumping everywhere.
jumping.
Cast a spell, he'd get scared, it would go inside somebody's brain. It was just
Unfortunately, I could only stop him from moving to planes that were without the room we were in, and your minds have become planes of their own.
He just kept jumping into somebody's inner realm. And then I'd cast a spell, and they'd jump into somebody else's inner realm. Over and over and over. It was very, very annoying. He was
Well,
very scared of us.
That does sound
He
annoying.
was a big scared baby.
Well, that's good though.
Over and over.
I was definitely the scared baby in my fight, especially after Cleary dropped that.
And then he got so scared that he's like, oh, can't fight Midnir and Grim at the same time. So he got rid of Midnir. He's like, oh, I'm just going to fight Grim. Stupid.
Well, I'm glad everyone's okay. Cleary, what was up with Mirima?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've been working on my illusion magic. Yes, and I thought, something imposing and powerful. I'm sorry.
All right, it was just a bit shocking. Wasn't prepared to be emotionally thrust back into something very sad. But I think he would like to hear that when you wanted something imposing. That is the first thing you thought of.
Also, I wanted in some small way for them to be able to stick it to the one who harmed them.
Yeah. Well, it was impressive magic. Boy. Alright. I think first order of business, Orin, is you've got to get tattooed right away. If everyone is up for that. Whoever's doing the tattooing and the breathing and the whatever. I don't know.
Well,
if
I
you
suppose
need
when it comes to the technical work, I simply need Mitnir's knife. Unless you'd like to do it yourself, Mitnir?
we can rest first if we need to.
Oh, and then I'm going to have to cut off a piece of him, huh?
Also, yeah, you'll have to. I mean, or you have maybe extra material from the.
No, I grew it all on his body.
Yep.
That's fine. We can heal him back up. But, we'll do that later. I'm too tired right now. I have nothing left.
I'm going to take my new fracture as soon as we get settled in. I think between that and a tattoo, that should be our things we do today. And then we can rest and relax a little bit before we have the big talk about what comes next.
Seems like a good idea. As you guys are saying this, you find yourself arriving at the cauldron. There's a line of, like, a big procession of people that are headed in, and the automaton just cuts straight into that line. Says, they are returning to the cauldron. Please excuse. And the person
But
at
he's
the
just
like
like
the sort
waving
of
over the side, like doing the little.
the person at the
little
checkpoint's just
princess.
like, yes, of course. Sorry. It's like, it was the Servants of Primus. So interesting. Big procession. Oh. Like there's like you can hear them like sort of whispering, but it's like as you guys go through a little bit of an unloading process, it says your services will be remembered by Primus. Goodbye.
Thanks for
you.
See
the
you later.
And you find yourselves once again sitting upon the sort of miniature version of the Temple of Purity, or the Cauldron of Purity. You can see that this sort of vortex of water is pulling into this image of it. And
Let's
unless
go.
anybody says otherwise, I assume you enter. And once
Yep.
again, find yourselves regurgitated out the butthole.
Perfect.
When you arrive, it is night
Oh,
within
I'm
the
back.
cauldron.
But for the first time.
As you guys get pulled out, they say, "Welcome, and is this your first time?" Oh, it's you guys. Welcome back. You haven't
Hi.
gone very long. Only what?
Just a few days.
yep.
Yep.
Short
At
trip.
the Killigard. We got the new Orin.
Most people, when they leave here, we don't see them for a few years.
Well, we're regulars. We like this place. At least for now.
Welcome back. Anything I can help you out with? Need some food at the butthole?
Do we want to just go straight back to the lab? I can conjure a meal for us there. Or should we just stay here since we...
Why don't we just go on the boat?
I think I've got 1 hour to the next arrival. If you guys want to grab a snack.
We could go on the boat.
Man, I just want to go to sleep. Grim is tired.
You can bring your
Unfortunately,
boat
Fred, we
out.
do have many things to do, and he just hands him like a small like handful of gold. He says, "But I thank you so much for the service that you provide to those entering here for the first time." She says, "Oh, clearly takes care of get rid of the guy like gently." He's like, "Well,
Yes, thank you. I like Oren's idea. Why don't we bring out our boat, and then we can all like go out on the water and have a sleep and have a meal."
You can make your doorway to your place.
Well, I can't because I have used all my good spells.
yeah."
Unfortunately.
We still have the doorway in the lab, though, right?
No, I did not.
She has to
cast-
make it each day.
I have yes.
It lasts 24
Oh,
hours, but
yes,
yeah,
I-
it's been a couple days in here.
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not.
Right.
Yep. So all the
Gotcha.
creatures that are there are still sitting in that demi-plane.
So then I can just unfold the boat into a big boat.
Yep. And as you guys unfold the boat, you see a bunch of the mini pedestrians, several of which are there visiting for the first time or just there for the amusement park or whatever. See you guys unfold this boat and go, woo! A bunch of kids pointing like, mommy, they built the boat so fast. And as you guys board on, there's like a little bit of people saying, oh, they're back. New Dad's back. New Dad, I thought they were gods.
Just doing the princess wave as we board.
And as you guys get onto your boats and begin sailing towards the center and away from the Quixotic Lock, the night glistens above you. You've already missed the Aquam Storm for the day, but still looking up, you see the kind, loving face of a mother that is Vedova looking down upon and smiling at you as she smiles upon her whole lock. The sort of mechanic moon moving gently across the sky. It's beautiful and it's peaceful. For a moment, you forget all the turmoil you just went through. What would you guys like to do?
You guys
As we
gotta
s-
make a tattoo, right?
Yep, let's get started on tattoo time. I will make dinner. Bropsy, can I have some guidance while I try to make us a beautiful, elaborate birthday feast?
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna go for an aristocratic meal, which is a DC of 18. Ooh, that might cut it. 18!
There you go.
Did it.
So there's a huge birthday cake. It's in like the colors like gold and white, and it's got like some mechanical sort of motifs with like fondant kind of, but also like sprigs of like what's like an herb that goes what, like maybe lavender or something. I don't know. I'm not a cake person.
With what? With cake?
Maybe like sprigs of like some kind of herb or greenery, like I guess lavender's all I can think of that might go well. Like I think the flavor of the cake is honey lavender, and
Yeah, you
and
can do that.
then there's like just a spread of stuff to go with it in a variety of cuisines and flavors, so that there's a little bit of something for everyone. Some curries, some croissants, some
Meanwhile,
We'll get the food berry.
Mitnir and Cleary are carving into the back. Or where would you actually like your tattoo?
Well, my old tattoo design was based on my previous body, so it's gonna have to change. We'll probably go. Well, I know you said the spine was probably the best place for it. So I'm probably
somewhere
going to
along the
have,
spine or skull or anywhere along where your brain like runs through the nervous system and everything else, right?
I know it's your birthday and all, but I'm sorry, no unicorns. I'm just not doing it.
I'm gonna tuck the wings in so they're gone. And I'm gonna show them that runic language to write down my spine, along with 2 like angelic wing patterns beside them on my back.
Cool. Is there anything particular that this would say, or do you not want to share it?
I'm gonna keep it to myself what it says.
Okay, so he gives you a very specific like set of runic lettering or pictograph, more like sort of situation, and then the sort of angelic wing tattoo that I suppose would fold around where your wings come out, sort of around the shoulder blade up, following the shape of the body. He's like, yeah, this is certainly doable. Might take a little bit of time, but I'll take care of most of the precision work, Mitnir, but I will need your help.
Just like cracks his knuckles, like.
What material are we using for this? Oh, that's right. This scale from Deimos. Have you guys? I mean, I'm sure it's already been processed down to powder when you did the rest of them. So, as he, Mitnir, go ahead and roll me a d20 plus your dexterity. I think you were using.
I don't remember. It's been a while since we did this.
The dex and proficiency?
Dex.
Yeah, I think it's dex and proficiency.
Okay. Pretty good. Proficiency's 5, 24, 26.
26. So Cleary is doing a very good job of getting the like he's like putting the pattern on with like a sort of like as a sort of stencil for you to follow with the knife. So he's getting the design applied bit by bit, almost like applying like a sort of just stain to the skin, and then you're going back after him, sort of tracing it and applying it and breathing on it, kind of thing. As you guys do this, it is going to be. Can you roll? Because this is going to be a. Do you still have your tattoo rules or no?
I have the thing, but I was actually trying to find like what we did as our roles. I don't remember. The time? Are you looking for the time or?
Yeah, just time. So it's going to be a medium ornate.
Okay, so 6 plus 3d6.
Yeah. And your application DC was only 16, so you fucking nailed it.
8, so 14.
It's going to take 14 hours to completely finish that tattoo. Because it's going down your spine, it's a medium size and it's pretty ornate.
Mm-hmm.
So the night will continue through, and you guys notice like he's like laying on his front, you know, maybe eating some of his birthday cake while they're doing it. Eating. Do you do eat, right, Oren? You do attempt to eat some of the food.
Oh, yeah.
You eat it, and you haven't ever in your life felt such a connection to your senses. As you taste this food, it's like an explosion in your mouth. It's the most amazing, most crazy thing you've ever tasted. Everything is so much more vibrant. And yet somehow, like, even though there's this explosion of sweetness in your mouth, it's not overbearing. It's not like, ooh, this is too much sugar. It's as if everything floods into you and you process all of it break down to every last granule, and you feel it as it explodes across your tongue.
He's probably just gonna be shoving everything in there, like, oh my god, this is so good.
Yeah, you eat everything, you smell everything, and it just feels, well, it feels like a body for the first time trying the world, experiencing it in a new way. And it's nearly intoxicating.
I don't even notice the tattoo going on. I'm just
Yeah,
shoving
I mean,
food in
like,
my
there's
face.
like a small amount of like a singe of pain, and then you're like, oh, I don't really want to feel that right now. I'm thinking about something else, and you don't feel the pain at all. So, with a 26 on the application for Mitnir and 29 from Cleary, this is exquisitely done. It is perfect to your specifications, but it will take the entire night for them to finish it for you.
Mhm.
Does anybody else have anything they would like to do during this night? Or are you just going to sleep?
Seti is mostly snacking on cake. But I'm also like, before I go to sleep, I'm going to try to do my own fracture internalization thing. Awakening.
Okay.
And
So,
Grim is also going to try and contact the Star Mother as he goes to sleep as well.
okay.
But that's,
So we'll
yeah,
start.
do her
We'll
thing.
start with Seti. Seti, you don't have the candles and everything else that you need to process this, but you make
Oh.
little flecks of light appear around you. And you take the fracture, you look at it for a moment, and you see this again endlessly unfolding ruby poppy. And you stare at it for a moment, and it just seems so alive. You keep your eyes focused on it, and it seems to unfold more and more and more. And then you see a bead of green light in the very center. And as you do, you feel your vision fall away. The flower fractures into a kaleidoscopic vision in front of your face. And as it opens up, you find yourself stepping into a garden. You look ahead and you see beautiful pixies, bits of light dancing around. You've been to this place before. The sort of wild trees all around and the beautiful flowers. And you see a voluptuous red-haired woman. Her hair being teased and trained by the fairies. She sits in a clawfoot tub bath made out of brass in the middle of the clearing. A bit of warm light pouring in through the treetops. You see that there is a large worm that is twisting around the top of the tub and has these small little udders on it. And you can see the pixies are milking the worm into her tub, which is overflowing. And she sits there bathing in worm milk. She says, "Welcome, sister."
I was going to say this looks like a lovely, relaxing, beautiful.
Oh, trust me, worm milk is the best way to bathe.
I'll take your word for it. Thank you for the gift.
Well, I assume you would like some help.
Internalizing it? Yes.
That's what brought you here.
Yes, it's time.
To my own special place. When I need to get away from Selindor. I'm so glad that you are taking in a piece of me, sister. I always
whole
thought we were
family,
alike, and
yeah.
now we will be much more alike.
I do look forward to getting to know you better.
Good. I can't wait to put the sun in your sky.
It sounds lovely.
As it is, dear. Focused for a moment. You see she lifts her arms and just more of this milk pours out onto the ground, and as it does, you see more flowers blooming on the ground.
Fair enough, flowers. Fair enough.
She gestures out towards you and she says, "What do you feel, sister? Let your flower bloom." And you feel this warm light just filling all around you. You feel something in your heart just sort of open for a second. It's mischievous, the energy, but it's also positive. Whereas you're used to the gloom, this small bit, this light, it reminds you of just a laughing baby. And as it fills inside your soul for a moment, I need you to roll me a D100.
D100.
Laughing baby's just Orin, like shrunk down.
Ooh,
Silly.
that's a 22. Almost an 82.
Says,
I'm not even 1 day old yet.
she feels as it runs into you, she says, "Charm. You are gaining my charm. Well, the lesser version of it. I can make it the greater if you so desire. But be aware it might have more change on you than you realize if that's what you wish."
I am. Well, I feel like I am not in much of a position to be turning down power. That is what started me into taking fractures in the first place. I need all the help I can get with what's to come. If the change you're referring to is merely physical, that's fine.
It will merely take you a step away from being able to meet people in a way in which they do not favor you.
Step away from being able to meet people in a negative way. Okay.
The world will stop treating you in the natural way. You will not meet people without a preconception of yourself being imprinted upon them.
It will be a little bit charmed.
Just by your mere presence.
Well, I thought I already had that effect on people. It's a bit devastating to hear otherwise.
Yes, but my charm. She sort of like lifts up and you see as her naked body stands in front of you. Is just a little bit more beguiling.
Sure is. Very just like looking up, trying not to like sneak peeks.
Says, "Well, sister,
You think it would help?
if that is it."
My journey, then yes.
She reaches towards you and a little bead of light flies and meets your chest. She says, "Well, best of luck until we meet again. Enjoy your little time space.
Thank you.
Because when you get back, there's lots of work to be done."
Oh, I know. I know. Yes.
And
I
as
do.
that light fades, you find yourself pulsing light. And you see a little speck of gold appears in that crystal. You find yourself in your own inner realm and you turn and look. And you see a sun rising. The light pouring from behind the trees, giving more life to the mist. Little sparkling fireflies begin dancing all over the place. You feel a change.
Well, this is
When you open
nice.
your eyes, you look and you see Cleary working diligently on the finishing touches of Orin's tattoo. Mitnir is passed out in the corner. Just full snore going on. He looks over at you and he says, "Oh, hello, beautiful.
Hi.
You
What do you see? What's different?
you look around, your hand the same, your skin is the same, you
My
can't
hair.
tell.
Check my hair.
You look and you check your hair.
Check down my shirt.
Oh man, they're bigger.
At this moment, I will let you choose a few options as to how this affects you. Effect number 1. Your button boobs become button boobs.
Said he's no longer flat as a board.
You have the voluptuousness, the curves
Of Poppy.
of
That's
of
a weird
Titania.
gift. That's a weird gift to get from your sister.
Yeah. 2, you gain red hair.
Oh. Hang on. I just dyed a wig for Seti, but do I have a red one? I don't even know if I have a red one. Hold on. Because that might be an instant yes if I have a red wig. But if I don't have a red wig, it's an instant no. What's the other one?
The third one is you just get the most DSL lips on the planet. Your lips just
Flat
become
cropped lips?
just the most like level lips that just pop up on your face.
Okay, is that
They
the
are
last
just like you got lip filler on lip filler, and you just look and just you can't even look at somebody without doing like a
Horrible. You're not selling that one.
Was that the last option?
Yep, those are your 3 options. Is you gain curves because SETI canonically is flat as a board. If I'm
Canonically flat as a board, both sides. She turns sideways, she's like a pencil.
so the options are you gain curves, your hair turns red like a natural red.
I really I think with the aesthetic, the only thing that works is the curves. As much as I like
He's gonna be a happy boy.
waifish, elvish, like
So you go from less than an A cup to a C cup.
she's like looking, and then she turns around. She's like, "Oh my god! Hey, look at this!
Do Sethi's clothes still fit?
Oh my god, we're going to need an entirely new wardrobe."
Her clothes, like they still kind of fit, but you can tell that like there's like an arc now onto her chest because she didn't even wear like any sort of support there before. But now it's like, and she's like, and you watch
90% of my
there's,
clothes
like,
were illusions anyway.
and you see that he just blushes, and like you can see like purple all up in his face, and he like look at this. He says, "I yes." Mm-hmm.
If they're magical clothes, then it shouldn't matter. Right?
That's true. It is
That's true.
magical clothes. It grows with
Your
me.
magical
It's a
robe,
robe
they sort of-
anyway.
Yeah, you feel the same, but you're like, oh,
I
the
do
cow,
address this.
what a crap.
All right. How much time do you have left on that tattoo?
He says, I'm just about finished.
Okay, well, hurry up, because we've got some things to figure out.
How do these new parts work?
So he finishes putting everything on, and he says, Minya, wake your damn ass up.
I feel like said he's
Finish
like
this
if,
off for me. Do your breath thing. I've got things to do.
said he's like a kid with this. She's like, I don't know. I've never had boobs before, so she's just like seeing how they jiggle.
We have to go play with these.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I'm playing props. Yes, you're a woman now.
It finally happened. I'm 20 years old and it finally happened.
Orin's
so
just
as you
like,
guys-
oh, I'm not the only one that got a new body today.
So as you guys make your way towards the coast, you've been like sailing super slowly the whole night. Grim, it's up to you whether you had like, if you slept, like did a full rest, or if you stayed up to like guide the ship, or if you want, your third arm has been slowly moving the ship, just in the back, just like slowly steering in like kind of a circular motion.
Oh, I thought we were just kind of like careening in the middle of the lock or whatever.
That's what I thought you were more or less doing too, but headed in the
Yeah.
basic direction of where you were going, I assumed.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, I thought we were just kind of like.
You've left it up to the cat, and you see like a little tentacle has come out from underneath your armor, and the cat has been paddling the ship the whole time.
That sounds fine.
Okay,
We'll leave it
cool.
up to Nephronon.
So as you guys open up your eyes and look out to where you actually are, you are very close to the theme park.
I should probably do my roll for my communing with what's her face though.
Oh yes, my apologies.
I'll probably still miss the roll though, so it probably
Go
won't
ahead and do the
matter.
roll. Go ahead and do the roll. Yeah, so the night before
I
when
missed
Seti
it. It was
began
a
meditating,
13.
when Seti was beginning to meditate, you were meditating as well. And the next thing you know, you're waking up and you see from underneath your armor is the cat's paw just like come out, and it's like extended on the long tentacle, but it still has the little cat's paw with the toe beans at the end. And it's like just like slowly pedaling the water. And you guys look and you see what appear to be water slides. And massive jellyfish size, like huge bubbles of aquam. And you can see people like little kids bouncing around inside, massive pool that's been like well treated. You see magical creatures from the water and like a small like aquatic petting zoo in the distance. And this is like spanning like a couple miles of the shore. You see this massive theme park.
This is not Vedaba's temple.
You hear
Does look like more fun though.
from inside your armor just echoing.
Nephronon, you going to play? You want to go play? I don't think they have rides for you. I don't know if they have. Do they have cat-shaped rides? Size rides? Cat rides? Maybe.
Anything could be a cat ride. You try telling a cat
see-
not to ride something?
You get the that there is something here that this cat really wants.
Well, I guess we got to go check it out.
So Mitnir, as you do the finishing touches, I assume you do the breath.
Yeah, I was like, I had to wait till the next day. Anyway.
Yeah,
So that's just a D100, right?
correct.
See how he does.
That is an
Oh, there you go.
86.
That's a hit. So you're going to get a major and a minor on yours.
Oh shit.
Cool. We will do that in a second, ideally during the break. So give me a moment. Are you guys stepping off onto the theme park side?
I mean, if Nephronon's asking for something, I can't just. tell him
Nephrodon
no.
wants to get off.
Might as well, I suppose.
So as you
We've
guys
got like
step
7
off,
weeks, you know.
Cleary's like, oh, yes, and he like helps find Doc, and then Seti, as you step out onto the ground, you feel the weight. It's still balanced, obviously, because you got some to the front and the back, but you feel the weight of your new assets. You feel
I'm like,
the
I don't know how to move anymore.
you feel the breath of Mitnir hit your back, Orin, and as you do, you feel like light pour into you. It's this weird sensation. And you guys look, and the tattoo that you put on there looks like it's made out of diamonds. there's like this sort of diamond blue light, the exact color of the light of Mechanus.
Nice.
So
I think I'm getting the hang of this. And Mitnir goes to blow again, just like. No,
he says,
I lost
"You did
it.
a very good job." And he's like, you see, he's already got Seti's hand, and he's like, "What are we doing? What are we going?"
It's okay. Well, I don't know. We're seeing what the cat wants.
Yep. Tell me where you want to go, Neverland.
He was specifically talking about the fact that you were like, "Oh, clearly we got to go try some stuff."
Oh,
But he's
this
just
is.
like,
I
"What are
thought
you
this was
doing?"
the morning.
No, you woke up in the morning as you guys were coasting towards the side, and he was like, Mitnir, finish this tattoo. So he's like, "What's happening? We got to do this thing."
Oh.
You got them all excited now. What are you doing?
I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
that was still nighttime, and we would
No,
have
this was
all
morning.
night.
That was
No,
14
no.
hours
It
later.
was 14 hours later you woke up.
Right. Well, maybe Cleary and I can stay on the boat, and everybody else can go have fun at the water park.
Says, "Yes, go, everybody off." He tosses you, like starts like pushing you off the boat.
While, not to keep beating a dead horse, but while Cleary was finishing the tattoo, I definitely ran off to find Bropsy and was just like, "Bropsy, I've got tits
I mean, you
now!"
didn't have to go far. You're on a boat.
That's when she says, "Oh my God, you're a woman now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look!
Meanwhile,
Watch
as you
the
guys
boat
begin
when
hitting-
you're done.
So you see the little tentacle begin pulling. Is anybody else getting off the boat? Like, I mean, you kind of have to because they're kicking you off. Where are you guys going?
I don't know. Hey,
I'm
Bropsy, what
following
do you want
wherever
to
the
do?
You can
tentacle
see
takes
that there's a jellyfish bouncing house, a very nice pool, especially with the rising sun. You see a lot of people sunbathing. You can see that there are water slides, that there is again the aquatic petting zoo. There are like a few restaurants. There's a big, huge, open outdoor buffet where you see somebody is stirring a massive pot of paella.
Actually, Oren's going to walk up to Bropsy and go, Bropsy, there's something I've always wanted to do ever since I met you. And he's going to pop his wings out and go, will you fly with me?
Absolutely.
And we're going to fly around.
You guys begin taking off flying, and you can see the kids like laughing and giggling, watching you fly. Meanwhile, the cat, what was his name? I keep forgetting.
Nefernon.
Nefernon is dragging you towards the line for the water slides. What are you doing, Mitnir?
Mitnir's gonna go to the sunbathing area and just like drawing on the ground stuff, but just like laying out in the sun, like
Yeah, you're glistening in the sunlight. Your scales like reflecting, especially with all the strange things that has happened and applied to you. Like you glisten in the sunlight, and there are lots of kids just like, "Oh, what is it?" You guys can like just see the blue like from a distance of Mitnir. Like when you look towards the pool, you can always see Mitnir there, just like reflecting the light. Yeah, you get a nice relaxing day by the pool. Meanwhile, as Nefernon drags you over to the thing, you're not sure why he wants to go on this water slide ride, but then you see some kids in line going, "Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I go. It's too high. It's too high, mommy. It's too high." And Nefernon goes,
What?
Did he just shove him?
"No, he's purring."
Oh, we can't. Okay.
Feeding off of their fear or something.
Oh, he wanted to come here because all the kids are afraid of heights and stuff.
He's feeding off the fear of the children.
Hungry.
Monster.
Oh, good. Okay, Nefernon, good boy.
Doesn't get much fear from us, I guess.
I was really worried you were gonna make me have to get wet. I was really worried that we were gonna get wet, and I was
Oh.
not happy about that. But I was willing to do that if you needed me to. This is much better.
No,
Okay.
you can tell that he's just like, let's go frighten some kids some more, because I could really, really use some fear. That is the sort of vibe you're getting from Nefernon, but he's doing it in a really sweet way.
Nefernon should
this
hang
is-
out with me. I'm afraid all the time. I'm not there.
You do notice though that when he spends more than I assume you spend a couple hours like hanging out with Nephronon at the water park, scaring kids. But you notice the more
or just like at least
fear,
passively feeding
once
off
their
of their
parents
fear.
start looking, his true face will pop out and they'll go, "Ah!" just like he goes, just like this will come out from
Oops.
underneath your armor.
Like, don't be too scary, we don't want
Just
to get
scaring
like
children.
kicked
But you
out.
notice the more times, like the more fear the kids have, and the more time around kids that are afraid, the less afraid they are.
Yeah, they just kind of
As-
get used to it.
No, he's eating the fear.
Oh, he's eating the fear. They're getting braver because he's just taking their fear away. Yeah.
He's taking their fear away. He's eating it.
Oh, look at you. You're a good boy. Now maybe they'll actually get them right.
So that seems to just be what's going on there.
You're good for business. Look at you.
Meanwhile, Orin and Bropsy, you guys are flying high above everything else. Orin, your wings feel as natural as they ever did when you bamfed them out with your Asimar feats, but they're there. They're yours. They lift you into the sky so easily, as if your body weighed nothing. One unfurling the wings, one beat, and you're off. You and Bropsy soar through the sky as if this has always been what you do. You do notice, Bropsy, though, he doesn't take to the wind like a normal bird would or an Aarakocra would. He seems to be flying through the wind. He doesn't seem to be flying with it, as if he's just doing it wrong. You can just tell that he's like, this is a guy who hasn't spent a lot of time actually flying. You know what I'm saying?
I was only ever limited to a minute a day.
I'll get the hang of it.
Teach me your ways, bird mother.
I feel like Bropsy would honestly either call on Zephyros or use her, what is it, Investiture of the Wind to like sort of guide him, like training wheels. Get him used to the feeling of it.
Okay. So as you guys do a little bit of like flying lessons and you just get more of a feel for it. How long do you guys like to spend relaxing at the theme park? Also known as Waterworld.
I don't know,
I
man.
feel like we will use the, what is it, ring bracelet, whatever the fuck, to tell Seti, let us know when you're done.
I think as you were leaving, Seti pulled Bropsy aside to be like, can you make sure we get like at least like 6 hours?
Just make sure to
Damn.
take water, food breaks, stay hydrated.
Grim is gonna like look
Everyone?
under the water slides and stuff to see if there's any like weird like funguses growing like under like the slides.
Oh yeah, all kinds of weird gross stuff. Oh yeah, nobody spends any time cleaning properly at this theme park. You know that most of the people hired here are like, didn't have really anywhere else to go. It's kind of like like rehabilitated criminals kind of place, like they haven't done this before. This is a new kind of attraction. So
you find all kinds of abandoned flip-flops and seals and all this other stuff down there.
yeah.
People dropped off the rides.
Yeah, so I'm just like, if any of it's usable or if it's just gonna collect little fungus samples and stuff.
Yeah, you can get little bits of like it's mostly like mosses and
Algae
different kinds of like
yeah.
seaweed and algae and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
maybe some small little critters and like nothing that you would find in a cave, but stuff that you would find on a beach or aquatic place, barnacles.
Yeah.
So
anything he can add to his collection is awesome.
as you spend the day, well, at least most of the day at its zenith, enjoying respite for the first time in a while, we will go ahead and take our break. So, thanks so much for hanging out, guys. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, and I will try to get some of that stuff done for Warren's tattoo while we're on break.
Back in 5.
And we are back. So, after 6 hours and a boat nearly overturned 3 times, you and Cleary lay breasts rising and falling.
Okay, we don't have to talk about my boots.
I'm not talking about your boobs. I'm talking about chests.
Chest. Okay.
Like as in the breast, both of you. Breasts
Gotcha.
rising and falling. Not your boobs.
Well, yes, but not just.
As you hear
So
the
I do want
sound
to
of
say,
laughing children and
well, as soon as everybody left the boat, I like found a like solid wall. I don't know if there's like a cabin or anything that I could like go inside.
yeah, just nearby, and you just cast the spell.
I just opened the mansion in a wall.
Okay,
of
well
the
there
boat.
you go. Yeah, fair enough.
So we've got the whole mansion to ourselves.
Yeah, except for Azurus and your cat
Azurus,
and
the
everything
cats,
else. They're all just
the
like looking for
Hollyphant.
attention right now. The Hollyphant is currently still torturing your servants. Good thing that they're not sentient.
They're not sentient. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so you guys are like, it's been 6 hours. I didn't realize you went into you went to your demiplane. So with that, I assume that the boat
There's
was also
massage
picked up.
tables. There's a pool.
Yeah.
There's a hot spring. There's a beautiful
Yeah, so everybody
garden.
is
There's
off relaxing
beds.
then. And then you
I bet he
hear
wants
the
to do it
sounds-
in the library.
So after your 6 hours more or less have passed, it's up to you guys if you want to rejoin with everybody else or if you just want to stay where you are.
I mean, a water park sounds really like a lot of fun, and I saw restaurants, but like, well, obviously not for you, but
I'm more than happy to enjoy anything you would like to do at this point.
I mean, we've got everything we need right here, and it's nice to have some alone time. And there's a lot of big scary stuff happening. I got really worried you were going to die in that fight, and like I don't want to not spend time together. So I think we should just, because they're gonna show back up and ruin everything. So until they do,
they will that. But we could probably tell them that we opened a door here in case there was something that they needed to do. I mean, we could hang a sign on the door.
I mean, we do have basically this. We have this whole tower to ourselves, unless somebody comes into the library. So it's not like there's not room for people to roam.
And he gives you a kiss and he says, "I cannot thank you enough for."
At the time I designed this, I just thought it would be nice if we were both near the books because we are both book people. And but boy, if I had only known.
Anyways, back in reality.
It's
been
send
long enough now at this point, Bropsy.
I'll send a message to Bropsy and be like, I guess you guys can come back if you want. I opened the mansion. It's fine. We're just in our tower. So, like, maybe knock if you want to go to the library. But other than that, y'all go nuts.
I'll make sure everyone respects your privacy.
So, what would you guys like to do? It's entirely up to you what you'd like to do. If you guys want to rejoin back in the tower, if you want to start accelerating time again and say what do you guys do for the coming weeks?
We need to talk about Enveruna and make up a plan before we accelerate time.
Well, that seems like the kind of thing that you don't hang on a sock on a door for. So
maybe over dinner. We'll all get together for dinner at the end of this day.
Sure. In the meantime, does anybody have anything specific that they want to do, or just want to say we enjoy the theme park? until we're tired, and then go back to the mansion.
As soon as Nephronon is full, I'm good to go.
Is there anything in particular you would like to do after that, or just go back to the...
He's the one that wants to be there. Grim's just kind of hanging out, looking for fungus.
I'll say, Grim, you collect your boat. You find the shack nearby that has the magical-looking door that stands out against the small little shack on the side of the pier. And you make your way in and go back to your mushroom garden that you had just started growing down in your little basement zone.
There we go.
Mitnir?
He's gonna spend the rest of the afternoon, I guess, telling the kids around the pool sun area how New Death fought an avatar of a god and how he single-handedly saved everyone and was the like he's like embellishing it, you know.
Yeah, make me a performance check.
The hammer blow that ended.
Wow, that was a natural one. Hold on. Can I?
Do you have a luck?
I do have a luck, so I'm.
Why is the barbarian spreading our gospel and not the bard?
Bard's a little preoccupied.
That's better. That's a 12 at least.
Well, the 12, they're like, you're lying. That's not true. There's no way. And then you're like, yeah. So they're like not convinced and stuff, or some of them aren't convinced, but some of them are like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, all of it's he's trying to be entertaining with it. It's not like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it says, did I use my strong muscles? And some of them are hanging on your arms while you're flexing and stuff like that. And you see, you get more than just the children paying attention. A lot of the parents really appreciate the time that you're spending with the kids, and they know who you are at this point. And you do see in the distance that there is an individual taking notes as you were telling your story.
Have I seen this individual before?
Make me an intelligence check.
Oh no.
Is this the guy he basically made?
Oh, that's a
deal with?
3. I have no idea.
No idea. But there's a guy clearly taking notes.
I think I remember who that is. As in, Beelan remembers who that is.
Well, you spend the afternoon doing this. Ropsy, Oren, you guys just fly until you're tired?
Yep.
Ropsy, you definitely get tired of flying before Oren does, even though flying is just a natural thing to you. He just seems to have more energy than you can keep up with at this point.
Yeah.
I also feel like the barbarian spreading the gospel is more hilarious because the story would never be the same.
Yeah.
Oren's got that new puppy zoomy energy.
So look at that new
She
car
just keeps
smell.
doing her wind thing from somewhere she can sit down.
All right. Well, as you guys spend your time enjoying and relaxing and laughing, everybody at some point retires back to the mansion for the evening. And when you get there, City, what kind of food have you laid out on the table for everybody?
This is just gonna be another like catch-all feast. Like, I mean, the servants can literally create anything, so it's a little less decorated than the birthday feast, but it's just got something for everyone.
Just guys got a smorgasbord on the table.
I think Seti's literally having like, I'm not gonna call it like a cheese and meats platter because she's still vegetarian, but yeah, like a girl dinner, snacks, big old.
Yeah. Cleary is eating exclusively seafood to stick it to the ocean.
Well, how was everybody's day?
Great.
This guy's a bunch of kids.
Cleary swallows an oyster and just giggles.
That he's like trying. She's like, as soon as she said that, she's like, I hope nobody asks about mine. What have I done?
He's just like
Did you clean the boat?
Bropsy will ask.
Everything's
Did you
great.
guys have a good day?
Yes, housekeeping was very fun. We played with the kittens, and the Hollyphant is very fat and happy. And the Zora says hello, and spent a lot of time cleaning the boat.
You look over, you point, the Hollyphant is really fat and happy. You point over and you see the Hollyphant is sitting in a lounge chair, like a chaise lounge, and it's just like sitting there. It's little elephant.
There's a hookah on
like,
the
legs
patio if it wants
are
to be
just sitting
smoking a
up,
hookah.
Side-eyeing you
And
the
you
whole time
see-
you're saying this.
that his little elephant nails are being tended to by hovering little nail files and stuff, and he's just going.
Mitnir
like a-
rolled a 19 on the insight for what you're saying you did with your day and doesn't believe a word of it.
I'm only. Well, actually, you have disadvantage now because of my new fracture, so people can't tell when I'm lying anymore.
I still rolled a 19 because the second one was a nat 20.
Okay.
Oh, he can see through it still.
Although I have to roll deception, but we'll just say.
I
we'll
think
give
it's
it to
more
you.
of I think it's more of a just like he just doesn't believe that you guys didn't just spend the whole time fucking. Like I think it's like it doesn't even matter that he doesn't believe you. It's just like he doesn't believe the situation.
We're not barbarians. We don't have that kind of stamina.
I don't understand.
All right. Anyway, well, everybody enjoy a nice, lovely dinner because we have a lot to talk about. And I had a lot of thoughts and feelings about this 2 weeks ago when it was fresh in my mind, but now that's been like 3 months in real life and I don't remember a damn thing. So, what does everybody else think about what we should do? Cleary, you're going to have to leave before this begins. So
That's
gobble
fine.
Up, gobble
I
up
actually haven't eaten today at all, says Gagnor. So you guys talk. I'm gonna go get some food.
Okay.
It's 5 p.m. I haven't had anything to eat.
Go eat. Just making sure nobody. The Hollyphant is fast asleep, food coma, so I think we're safe.
We can go down to that room if we need secure privacy.
Oh, but then we can't eat while we talk.
What do you mean? We can bring it down.
Oh my
The
god!
servants
but
can bring it down.
I mean, Cleary's gonna be in the library. The private room is below the library. It's fine. We're good up here. This is the kitchen, dining table. Servants, don't let anybody listen other than the people that have these bracelets. Okay? Good? Yes, we're good. Okay. What do you guys think?
So the real question is, so if everybody is, all these different people are hosting these different eldritch, whatever, power around gods, is it not possible for somebody to do that to Petal Talrain?
Well, we'd have to figure out how they get these things, find a host for it, and then somehow overpower him and absorb him without him winning that battle. Because it seems to me what's happening is that, for example, Aldusk is trying to replace Yog-Sothoth and has certain aspects of Yog-Sothoth, like the pink, sort of bubbly thing going on in his brain.
Mm-hmm.
But hasn't become it yet. It's a long drawn out, and Kieran is still doing a lot of training to try to become Azathoth. So that would be playing the long game. And I don't know how much time we have. We'd have to figure out how to do it first of all. Then we'd have to make it happen over however many months or years it takes. Although I do like the
Just
idea
saying,
of replacing him.
If the fear is that Petal will take control once everybody takes control of these eldritch gods, then why not just take control of Petal Talrain?
I don't hate it as a suggestion, but I have several reservations about Peto, and that is only one of them, that he will take control.
If if the council tries to kill these gods, and then they really are,
Holding the fabric of the universe together.
then that's very bad.
That is
That's
very
much
bad.
worse than Peto taking control of things.
I feel like
That-
the ideal scenario is to simply steal these gods away where they can't fuck with us in the ways that they are fucking with us now. We have to stop Northot and keep the far realm, far away from here. I don't know how possible that is without also having to contend with these other gods potentially breaking into this realm and becoming a problem that has to be taken out, even at the risk of the universe, because it will be destroyed either way if they are here. So,
Do we know
Enveruna's
how?
plan seems to solve that nicely by simply replacing them with somewhat more sane entities who can theoretically control those impulses and not destroy the universe, and also not cause it to fall apart by ceasing to exist. But that means trusting each and every one of them, and Peto most of all. And the
You
thing
don't
about
have to trust them.
we have to trust them enough that they will be better at being those entities than those current entities are.
Yes. But we also have to trust other people right now.
Here's the thing. Kieran will have the most power of all. If he wins his fight against Azathoth, he will become that being that dreams reality, and as long as he is sleeping, he is powerless. But he expects to have moments of clarity when he wins the fight before he is put to sleep, where he will change reality itself to end suffering, to create a utopia, a homogeny, to radically alter life as we know it. And I don't know if Peto can stop him from doing that, or even wants to stop him from doing that. And I don't know if I take their offer and I try to become the thing that puts Kieran to sleep. I don't know if I can put him to sleep fast enough to prevent him from doing that. There are a lot of big ifs, and if he does what he wants, everything as we know it ends, and he does not care about that because he firmly believes that what he will make will be better.
And you really want to risk someone else being the one to try to stop him from doing that?
I want to solve the problem in such a way that he never has to do that.
And how do you do that?
I don't know.
Is there anyone else who could stop him even? Hasn't he already eaten a bunch of those things? He's already pretty strong, yeah?
The linchpin of their plan, because he does not sleep, he is completely unattached from the dream world. And if we could find a way to attach him, it all falls apart. He won't be able to take Azathoth's place. That is what I believe anyway. And I do believe a lot of his mental health problems are a result of him never ever having a good night's sleep.
That is why they chose him originally, but
Yes.
he's still already connected to Azathoth.
I think that connection.
What would happen if you take someone who is so deeply connected to Azathoth who suddenly falls asleep and is now connected to the weave?
Well, perhaps it's a hope. I was assuming that connection would sever if what made it work in the first place was no longer happening.
I mean,
We could try to learn.
What happens if he wakes up Azathoth?
If
I mean, we know what happens if he We know what happens if he wakes up Azathoth.
Yes. We don't want that to happen either. That's what Northhouse trying to do.
So what if you doing that messes with that and wakes up Azatol?
I think as
It seems
long
like
as long as Tremember is singing or whatever, then Azathoth can't wake up, I believe. If I've understood. I mean, this is what Peto explained to us, and I can't trust what he said was completely honest. Or that I've understood it properly.
something
I think
something like Beto is going to, above all, want to. It's going to care about itself.
right.
So, rest assured, it's not going to do anything that's going to act against its own self-interest.
If only we knew what
So,
it was that we
waking
wanted.
up Azathoth is certain something I think we can be certain that it's not going to do.
I do believe Enveruna wants to stop Northod and does not want Azathoth to wake up. I do believe we have that much in common. But their methods leave a lot to be desired, and I understand that they are doing the best with what they have, but they are being led by some of them by greed, by whatever it is that drives Peto, and if they follow through on their plan, he will have absolute control over everybody involved, including us. At least he claims he will. That if one of us goes rogue, he would be able to shut us down instantly. And we would be giving him that power over us.
One thing, yes, we do need to acknowledge, though, that we know virtually nothing about the Far Realm. They know way more about this than we do.
They do.
If we stick our hands in this and fuck it up,
Yes.
dealing with forces that hold the universe together, that could lead to billions of deaths.
Yes.
So the actions have very, very grave consequences. So it's not a matter of, well, I trust this guy or I don't trust this guy. It's a matter of what is the most rational, logical decision with the least amount of risk.
Well, that is the problem, isn't it? Because it seems to me that everything has quite a lot of risk. Any choice could be the wrong choice, the one that ends the universe. Or, in the case of Kieran succeeding at his aims, alters it beyond recognition and effectively wipes all of us out anyway.
Yes. No, the question is it the universe that still exists and is then controlled by Petotarain, or is it the universe that no longer exists? Right? So obviously, of those two terrible choices, one is better. Right?
I would like to find a different alternative where things just go on as they have been going on, and the gods are sealed away and can't trouble us anymore, and Northot's not a problem.
Of course. No, that is definitely preferable. Grim first wants to figure out. I still need to figure out who this Star Mother is, how that works, how she is related to making fractures, if she's related to this process of how Peto attaches these people to gods to absorb them. Maybe she knows something about that. Maybe she... He said she's a parasite. Maybe she is the basis for his methods of making others into a parasite that leeches off of these gods? Who knows? But I will try again to creature tonight. I'm not very good at it for some reason, but I'll keep trying. I have however many more nights. We have like 7 more weeks in here.
I
So, not to completely interject into what you guys are saying, but I would like to hear how the other 3 players feel about this situation. Do they have anything to interject or add to the conversation? Their own opinions?
Hmm.
Not helpful opinion.
he was like, just punch
I
him.
just want you to remember though that that you guys are a big part of this. And
mean-
you're
Kill them all, solve it later.
Yeah.
so whether or not you think as a player your character would have a good opinion doesn't mean that your character doesn't think that they would have a good opinion. So please feel free to everybody be a part of the conversation.
It's only our future we're talking about.
Yeah. I'll go
I
back
just
to
want to
eating.
say my character is way smarter than I am in real life, so
Yeah. I have that problem all the time.
I don't know how to get him involved in this conversation because he would know way more than I do. But I don't know. I guess for me, it's just
If there's something you don't know, but you think your character would know, you can ask me about it, and I will tell you the appropriate roll to make to see if you do know something or suspect something.
mm,
I can help you understand what he knows or at least thinks he knows. So don't let that stop you.
Anything about the Star Mother, Far Realm, Peto?
If they're all dead, other things will replace them. I don't think the universe will fall apart. I mean, it might
Well-
temporarily, but
I'm generally going with Bropsy that she feels way out of her depth on all of this, and she doesn't feel qualified to make these kinds of decisions. But if she's allowed to do some kind of mothering insight to see if she trusts Petho or not, can I do that?
Yeah, make an insight check.
Oh, not very great. That's a 17.
Even with a 17, you know that this is a slimy, sleazy boy
Mm-hmm.
who has very selfish aims.
Yeah.
That does not mean that they will not result in good things, but his intentions are not pure.
He doesn't want to save the universe to save the universe
Mm-hmm.
and make it.
He might
good
save
for
the
other
universe,
people.
but
Bropsy's
it's
gonna be on the name team.
What?
You can't trust someone. You can't use someone you can't trust or control, and we can do neither.
At the moment, yes. The thing is,
so
because they know so
maybe
much.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, because they know so much more than we do, I feel like we are very much out of our depth and could very easily be taken advantage of.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
We're not the big picture people. We're the immediate problem people. So
Yes.
we don't think that far ahead.
and we interfere with the big picture people apparently.
Sometimes. When they don't tell us what's going on.
it's
No one
No,
tells
I
us what's
mean-
going on.
Primus
That's the
would
problem.
very gladly sacrifice us for his plan
And the thing is, I don't know how far to
if it
trust
meant
him either.
maintaining
but
the balance. You can't. He would, if it meant maintaining order, if it meant that
the thing
the
is,
balance was shifting one way or the other, and they needed to restore order or, move it. It's too ordered, and needed to move it more towards chaos. He would let us die in an instant, right? So you can't trust Primus any more than you can trust Peto, right? I
The
don't,
thing is,
frankly, no, not to insult your father, but I don't know if we can even really trust your father that much.
oh, I've wondered about that quite a lot. He is the reason Kieran is broken. His own experiments with his progeny resulted in these people like Kieran that can't sleep, and it was stupid. If he hadn't fucked around, then the rest of us wouldn't be finding out. But, point being, with Primus at least, we know his general moral compass, I'll say. Not that it's moral, but that if he wants things to stay more or less as they already are, then that is a plan I can get behind more so than Enveruna's, where Kieran wants to radically alter everything. And
Well, I mean, we can sit here and talk about this all day, night.
that was kind
But
of the
the
plan.
real question is, we have to make a decision whether or not we're giving them the book or not.
I don't want to.
No.
Okay, then we're not giving them the book, so that's settled. So then
But
we need to prepare for what that will entail.
it means that they are our enemies and we are theirs.
It means they're going to try and take it from us. So
And they
They
will
don't need
not,
to take it from us. There's other books.
they
don't
may
care
not
about
know
the other
that.
books. They know we have a book that
I'm
will
sure
work.
they know that. They know that.
They
I'm sure that
already
they are.
told us that if we're not giving it to them, they will take it. He said that to our face.
He did, and he did say he would spill our blood to do it, although...
They'll definitely try to do that. They probably will do that. But if they don't end up getting it from us, and they can't, they don't end up finding it, then they'll probably try to find another one.
I am
And if they don't take Grimm's piece of the Star Mother, they'll go to find another piece of the Star Mother, because there are many pieces of the Star Mother.
Right.
They will continue to find, try
Sure,
many avenues
but that
to
will take them
complete their
a
aims.
much longer time.
I think our immediate
They don't
concerns...
need us to do that, right? That they will continue to try to complete their aims in any way that they see it.
Well, that doesn't matter, though. We're trying to determine whether or not we're going to help them, and we're not.
That is my vote, but it does mean, all right, we hide or destroy our atlas in such a way that they cannot possibly use it. The next order of business would be, I think, to deal with the one that Primus has somehow, because it is only a matter of time before they find out about it, if they haven't already, given that Primus does not intend to stand in their way in obtaining it. So
Well,
that
with
would
the
be my next
information you
concern.
told Primus that they're holding back on him is not going to make him give them anything. If anything, he's going to start holding back more with them.
I'm not worried about him giving it to them. I'm worried about them knowing he has it and going for it. It would be easier for them to probably obtain that than it would be to go out, find another atlas, find
Who
a piece
knows
of the
about
Star
that, though?
Mother.
Only we do and Primus. No one else knows about that book.
It is an assumption we are making, but it may not be correct.
Well, it went from us to Primus, and then he put it away in the vault.
But we don't
Who else
know.
would have known about it?
We don't know.
We don't know for sure that they weren't tracking us even then. They haven't said that they know or they don't know.
We
Can't
gave it
assume
to
that
him
they
in
don't.
the imperception chamber, though. You can't track things in there. There was no way to see it when we handed it off. And it went away.
We don't know what Primus has or hasn't told anybody. We don't know what...
I mean, we've had many conversations with them now.
The Modron might have...
Primus doesn't tell people anything.
He's a god of order. He's not a god of honesty. We don't know for sure whether he's telling us the truth. We know he values order. It doesn't necessarily mean that he has or hasn't told us anything.
We certainly could be agents of chaos with the wrong information.
But that would make us more chaotic, which would cause Primus more problems.
Unless the balance were too
I'm just saying
far
he
in the
could be
other direction, and
manipulating
it
us
needed
as much as
chaos.
anybody else.
I mean, we're just assuming a lot right now. That's all I'm saying.
Precisely.
I
You are
don't want to
assuming
assume
too
that
many
the
things.
ephemeris is safe.
Assumptions are pointless because they're not fact.
So here's where that leaves us. If Enveruna starts gunning for us because we won't help them actively or join them, we must defend ourselves. We must be prepared to... Do we destroy the Atlas? That seems to be the safest thing. It can't be used if it's destroyed. Do we think we could continue to keep hiding it from them?
No.
I don't think so either.
Why don't we just use it in something?
Well,
If we turn it into something else, they can't use it.
What could we possibly turn it into?
We could turn it into an ephemeris.
Cracks his knuckles. Give me time.
If we make it into an ephemeris, we're just doing their work for them.
Yes,
What else are you going to turn it into? That's the only thing we know it turns into. That's just saying.
Pile of ash would be better.
I agree that the pile of ash would be better. I know it's a powerful thing, and it wouldn't be horrible to have our own ephemeris, but it does just paint an even larger target on our backs.
You
I mean,
guys
we
seem
already
very
had
eager
one.
to get yourselves killed.
We already had an ephemeris and we got rid of it. Why would we want a second one?
Yeah.
It's way too big of a target.
So you're planning on putting an even bigger target on your backs?
By
In what
destroying
sense?
the Atlas?
Yes.
I mean, holding
That
on
will
to
get
it
you
is the
killed.
same. Why would... Enveruna
Either
kill
way,
us?
yes. Doing that is going to get you killed.
How so?
By rejecting their offer, you're going to get yourselves killed. Unless you can find some sanctuary somewhere.
I mean, if we say we can't give you the book, it no longer exists.
Then they'll know that you destroyed it and they'll seek you out and kill you.
I think
Why?
refusing
I don't
to
think they
join
would.
them is...
So you're going to say, oh, what? My dog ate it?
I mean, we do have a very hungry Holophant.
If it's destroyed, they have no use for us.
Yes, which is why they will kill you.
There's no
They-
point
And
for
your
them killing
girlfriend
us.
that they've already roped
Hold on.
in.
Hold on.
There's no reasoning behind that.
You think they need reasoning to kill you?
We already know that not joining them is going to put a target on our backs. So do we have that target on our backs while we have something they want that they could steal from us to become more powerful with after they've killed us? Or do we destroy that thing so they can't become more powerful even if they've killed us? Now, Grim, it seems to be what you are suggesting is that we join them and avoid conflict altogether. Because those are our two options. We join them or we don't. And if we don't, we are their enemies.
The surest way for you to ensure that your brother does not end up creating this fucked up world that you're worried about is for him to have an influence in his life that can lead him away from that path. And unless he has that influence in the form of somebody who has the ability to stop that, then that will be the path that he is on.
Or we kill your brother.
Which you can't do because he's more powerful than any of us.
I am not opposed to killing him if it came to that, or at least dying trying. I do not know if I can reach him and bring him over on side, and I do not know that I could stop him from doing what he wants to do. He is convinced, beyond reason, that what he wants is right and must happen, and he may have been manipulated there by Petto and everyone else, but they have a very strong hold on him. I think the only way I could get him on side is to give him a good night's sleep and show him there is another way beyond what Enveruna has promised to get what he wants. He thinks when he is Azathoth, he will finally sleep. And nobody will ever suffer again like he did. I think whether we join them or not, we need to find a way to counter-offer Amberuna.
Well, whether we join them or not, I won't be taking in any eldritch god, I can tell you that much.
I do not want to give Peto access to us in any way.
I mean, some of you have taken your last fractures already. You would have to lose one to take on one of these
I
gods.
don't believe these
Those
are
aren't fractures.
fractures. They are something different.
I will say this. Every one of the members of Inveruna has something embedded in them that is not fractures, but they also have fractures that belong to the specific god that they are. And those are exclusively the fractures that they have, are the ones from the gods that they are.
It
related
probably
to.
helps with assimilation.
So you would probably have to lose all of your fractures and take on new ones related to the specific god. That alone will change you.
I could be persuaded to pretend to be training for this, but I will not put that thing in me. Not unless I am sure that it is our only option and that I can put Kieran to sleep fast enough to avoid what he wants. Because I am prepared to die to save the universe. But I am not quite prepared to...
Become someone's puppet?
Right.
My sound cut out.
Can you hear us?
Probably the same thing that happened to me last time.
Whoops. Hold for technical issues.
Hold on. I think it just died in one ear.
Whoops. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you in my left ear.
Okay.
My right ear.
Yeah.
Oh, I think my right ear just died. That one went like dead quiet. There we go. I don't know how long this one has left. Hopefully long enough.
Well, why don't we focus on what we can do now? Grim, I can try to help you connect with the Star Mother, maybe. Or I hate to fuck around in the inner realm too much because it could be very dangerous, as we've seen before when I try to visit gods or entities that do not want me in their space. And I have been
I
warned
don't
off.
think you'll need to come with me if you need to. I think I just need a little bit of help focusing, honestly. I shouldn't have too much trouble. I have bad luck.
I can try to guide you. Okay, I can do that.
Or
It really
inspire
shouldn't
you.
be that. It really shouldn't be that hard. I just
Right.
have a 7 modifier.
Okay. I'll
Just
I'll
roll.
help you tonight. In the
Well,
meantime,
I mean, I also have like however many chances we have, right? Because we're here for we have like 7 more weeks or whatever.
well, the sooner we learn things, the longer we can try to put them all together into the jigsaw puzzle that is the
Yeah,
plan
that's
we
why
need to
he's
make.
trying like every night on this.
So I will say, guys, with the questions and realizing things, you guys have a lot of information. You don't have all the information, but you have a whole bunch of information. If there's anything that you guys have any real questions about, again, with the question of your characters being maybe more intelligent than you are, or anything like that, you can always not only ask something specific, but if there's like, I'm pondering this particular subject, are there any bouts of inspiration that my character might have that could help me?
I would like
If
to
you want to
ask
do
that
that.
about everything I've said about Kieran this evening. Like, do I have a sense that all of that is correct and
True or
that
not?
like or that SETI
Make
maybe
me an
has
insight check.
has other can't find my mouse. Where is it? There it is.
This is you combing back through your interactions with him and doubting yourself, playing devil's advocate with yourself, and trying to determine if your assumptions are accurate.
Hey, Bropsy, you want to guidance me while I'm thinking?
Alright.
Is that the?
Well, you could be discussing it with Bropsy in
Hey.
character,
Oh, I
and
rolled
that
a
would be good.
3, so that wasn't great. I wish I could inspire myself. That's a 12.
You can't say for certainty what will happen with Kieran. And yes, his goals seem, although founded in tragedy, they do seem like good goals, but you do know that anybody that has attempted to remove pain and suffering from the world has only been a horrible influence on the world.
I mean, he literally said
That
that like he didn't care if it wiped, like, I forget the specific words that were said, but basically he was like, I don't care what you think about this or what you want because the version of you that exists in my new reality will be happy.
yeah.
Right.
So
that's pretty fucked up.
You get the impression that though his goals are, but because you didn't roll extraordinarily well, is my point.
I'm not getting new information.
You're not getting any new information, and you're not convinced that you know everything there is to know about him. Like maybe you are wrong.
I mean, I know I should spend more time with him if I can.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he does seem to want to change people themselves.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty fucked up thing to do.
Yeah, fundamentally at their core, he's like, people need to radically change.
Anybody else?
Would killing all the gods destroy the universe?
Yeah, does Mitnir's divine spark?
Gee,
You
I
have been
wonder.
you have been reading about you've been reading about gods and godhood and becoming gods for a while now. So go ahead and make me a religion check.
Oh boy.
Guidance?
What's guidance do?
D4.
D4.
D4. All right, well, we'll see what it adds to it.
Like every time somebody's like
Just-
thinking out loud, Bropsy's like, I'm gonna guide you through
I mean,
your
that's
thoughts.
an
I just
18.
I'm just circling the
It's a
room,
what?
booping people.
18.
18. So you've read a lot about gods and how they work. You know how from immortal goes from a god to, or goes from being a person to a god. Like all that's required is spreading your word, your notoriety, or your legend, or whatever it may be. That is like the first step, and then you must fill a void that has been created. Or you must surpass, in essence, the thing that currently fills a particular role within the concepts that people worship. Right? But what are these other gods, these eldritch gods, these things? You don't know lofty things like the universe or like whatever that weird guy said about what's gravity? Never heard of that. But if we can become gods, why can't gods become bigger gods? What's to stop them from, if those gods disappear, they step in and become the lawmakers of the universe or over gods? So that's your musing on that, is that you think it's possible that maybe the council plans on taking over and certain members of the council will become will take over the role of the eldritch deity and no longer require the worshiping of humans, but just become facts within the multiverse, which they themselves can rewrite the laws of.
We can ascend to godhood. Gods can ascend to
Super
reality?
godhood? Super godhood? Mega godhood?
So that's your epiphany, is perhaps the council is planning on killing them and then becoming them.
I will kind of share that musing with, if they die, like maybe something just
Fills the
fills
vacuum.
in.
I mean, we
Yeah.
do know the council has its own plan that they haven't shared with us, and I would really love to know that before we decide what to do about Inveruna, but they have been very sticky about us being champions first. So, unless someone can become a champion in the next 47 hours / 2 months in this cauldron.
I got this.
Depends on how time works. But
We could
I
maybe
have a
send.
question. Would
Sure.
so Orin, with his OG memories and all this past knowledge of being in Celestia and all this stuff, have any sort of other knowledge about gods and what's beyond godhood?
Go ahead and make me a history check.
Oof. It's one of my lowest
Or
rolls.
religion, because it's beyond godhood. Yeah, you could do religion. Either or.
Definitely choose religion. 24.
With a 24, you know that there is something above godhood. And you know this from the memories of OG Orin, that there was something that even Zafriel would consider above him. Separated from actual gods, the throne archons. There are tome archons that rule over the entirety of Mount Celestia. There was something that they knew was law, was fact. That there were tablets that were written that held the rules of gods, ones that were incontrovertible. And if they were to try to break these rules, then an entity would descend to correct them. And it has caused huge amounts of strife in the past, including wars between gods of various factions. And I believe the Spell Plague, where all magic stopped with the death of Mystra, was caused by this. The entity that you know of has been referred to simply as AO. Alpha and Omega becomes AO.
So I'll say that to the group.
There were other beings that were like him. This is from your other memories, the most vague ones. And you know your master is one of these as well.
So how do we fit all that information in with what we've been talking about now? We think this is what the council might be shooting for beyond, or that there
Well,
might already be things that could
as
fill the
far as
vacuum.
we know, the council just wants to stop Northought and then regain the powers they had, or escape Selindor, or whatever. It's Pedo and his group that want to basically become something more than gods.
Right. That we know of.
Yeah.
But those
That's
are
what
the-
we know. But we don't know the council's plans truly. We only know what they've told us.
We can only speculate, which is what I'm trying to do, is speculate. But we know there were entities like this once, and may still be, beyond gods, not just the eldritch ones. What they say, puzzle piece to fit in somewhere, whatever it might be worth.
So we don't necessarily know the total hierarchy. If it's, the gods we know, and then the eldritch gods above them,
And then
then
AO and
AO above them that keeps all of the below ones in line. Who's to say AO or these other entities won't step in when Pedo and his group try to mess with things?
it is. It would be
It's
nice,
an
wouldn't it?
assumption.
We just don't
Certainly
know.
an assumption.
It's all above. It's all way above our pay grade.
Yes, more speculation. I'm all for throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what looks like a picture. But I'm feeling very overwhelmed. I have been for a long time. Here's the
Yes,
thing.
we need more information.
We need a lot more information. So first order of business, I will help you with the Star Mother, and we will see what... get as much out of her as you can. I mean, let's hope you connect, and we really need to figure out...
She
maybe
has a hard time talking because she has no head. So it's,
that
it's hard.
would be difficult.
She can still talk, but she's very temperamental. She does not like your dad.
I don't blame her. He's very difficult to like. Honestly, I only like him when he's eating pastries. Okay.
I told her about your dad, and then that's when she yelled Trinembra, so...
Wait, what?
maybe there is something to, Mitnir's theory, But...
Wait, walk me back through this.
yeah, that's when she said Trinembra was the first time I mentioned it. I think that was when I mentioned your dad to her.
And then
Talked
she just
about,
yelled Trinembra.
I think so, right?
I
Maybe.
don't remember.
I
So-
do, and yes. Okay. I don't know if I can ask him about that because of the bracelet. I only knew that name because of them, but now you've told me and you've heard it before outside of the bracelet context. I could probably ask him about that and see if he gives anything away. If the council has the same plan that Enveruna does, and his plan is to become Trinembra, then, I mean, what the fuck are they fighting for? Except
Who knows?
who becomes who.
I was gonna
Power,
say you can't. They
basically.
both can't be in charge.
I'd rather
They're
see the
fighting
council
over
in
power.
charge.
Well, unless who knows what their ends are.
I will see. Okay, I will visit my dad and see what I can find out. I have been warned off this before, but I am really tempted to go see Greed if I can. If I can find him and speak to him. He is the only thing we know in the Far Realm that might have even a fraction of humanity left. And perhaps we could get more information about what's going on there from him.
Who knows?
To put us a
Maybe the
little bit
Star-
on par with... He might know where the Star Mother is or something. I don't know.
She's all over the place.
Well, I mean, pieces
Unless,
of her.
as far as we know, yeah. Unless she can teach us how to make our own little piece things, that would be useful.
I would need, and perhaps Cleary would be the best person to ask. If I try to speak to Greed, I would need some safeguard. Something to
Yeah,
try
but
to
I would think so.
pull me into this world, to ground me, to tether me here, and keep me here, and maybe yank me out of the dream world where I go. That's assuming I can find him.
There goes the other one.
Oh. Pause for technical difficulties. We need like a little technical difficulty screen with like the static and like the...
We'd have that on all the time.
Not all the time.
There we go. We're just gonna use my
You'd forget to go back and it would
built-in
be its own technical difficulty.
Yeah.
sound stuff now.
Sure.
Alrighty. Alright, so that's the plan for tonight. I help you. I think I'll talk to my dad first. And then if I have any juice left over, I'll try to reach Greed, but I can try that tomorrow night. Actually, I think I should do everything I possibly need to do before I try to reach out to Greed in case I get stuck there and never come back.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
It's okay, Brapsy. I'm mostly making a joke about it.
You might want to just like probably have a good plan of attack for that. Maybe don't do that by yourself. Maybe.
I don't want to take anybody else in with me in case we get stuck there together.
Can you even go there by yourself? Are you even able to go to the far realm?
I have spoken to him once before. When I found out he was there, I may have gotten really, really, really lucky reaching him. I
Was
don't know
that
if...
the through the book that one time in the chamber?
Yes. I used the book to find out where he was, and then I thought about it really, really hard. And we made the connection. He was becoming something monstrous, and he may have finished that by now. And I have been specifically told not to go back. I can't remember if that was Cleary or my dad. But I think it was my dad told me not to go back. But I'm trying to think of ways to learn about the Far Realm. To learn what the real dangers are and what's actively happening there now. What Northot's up to. If there is a place we could breach it to launch an assault, a stealth assault on Northot, surprise attack. I mean, that is one option we potentially have, is to use the ephemeris ourselves, go on in, slay Northot, and get the fuck out of there, or die. As long as Northot is gone. Without the other gods there leaking into our world. Could be a suicide mission, but if we succeeded, it would prevent a lot of this other stuff from happening.
Well, we already know of a way there. That's what that key was that we had assembled to open the door to go to Northot.
That is the main gate, though. That is the one that the enemy is also mustering at. The ephemeris, which is why Enveruna wants it, is a back door. The only hope.
Technically have both.
We have both. I would not do a surprise attack through the front door, though.
That might be the most surprising way to do it, though, huh?
I know, right?
Yes,
They
we walk
expect
in.
a surprise from the back, but not from the front.
The point of the back door is that they don't know it exists or where it will be, ideally. I think we need to gather more information. So perhaps we put a pin in that talk. We see what Greed can learn from Star Mother. I'll see what I can learn from my dad. What else? What else can we do tonight? How else can we gather information about Enveruna or the Far Realm?
From here, like, nothing we can do right now. We would have to go and actually talk to people. In the Nexus, most likely.
You all have different people in your inner realms that you are connected to. Maybe you ask them if you can. Try, maybe.
Technically, I haven't been to mine yet, so I don't know if that's true.
Well, I don't know who the hell you're connected to now. Who knows?
You should go, and you should find out what you can learn there. Maybe reflect upon your past. And you might wake up with new memories or insights. And we did just talk to your dad recently, Mitnir, but and I know we are limited in what we can say regarding the current subject matter, but it may not hurt to pry a little bit and see if there is any Far Realm information or
here's a question for the DM.
Mm.
The bracelet that was on my previous body, that's not on my new body, is it?
Sure is.
Yeah. How?
Probably bound to your soul.
It's bound to your soul, not your.
What bracelet is this?
Not your body.
The one that keeps us from talking to.
It's not even an actual bracelet. It's a mark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not like you guys have a little bangle like sliding
Yeah,
around your
like
wrist.
We should have asked Archie if that could be separated while we had your soul in pieces. Just like, hey, you see that little black smudge there? Could we?
I mean, I can
What
try.
does your inner realm look like again, Beelan? Didn't you guys like design it? We talked about it in
Yeah.
character. I just don't remember it because
It's like
It's like a temple in the middle of a lake.
like the fight
It's
scene from the
surrounded by forest.
Matrix.
yeah.
Little bit.
But I don't know who's gonna be there besides
Yeah.
me.
Because I haven't made that yet. I need to go make that. That'll be my next thing I do right after this. I'll just go make it.
Make a map.
Make a map in Dungeon Alchemist.
Yeah.
Well, you
All
guys
right.
have a lot to decide and a lot to ponder on.
I will visit Kieran too before I try to seek Reed. And I will try not to upset him too much. See if I can learn a little bit more about.
He might just be
Can
glad
you
to see you.
visit him?
He wants to be friends. He wants connection, but he is steadfast in his beliefs, and he will not hesitate to mow me down if I trigger him in the slightest.
He doesn't
He's
sleep
not
or
expert
dream.
on
How do you visit
connection.
him?
He is
But you
always
might
there.
just give him the connection first before you try anything.
The thing is, it's hard to tell what will set him off. The first time, it was just sharing my view of what the world could look like, which I thought was just polite conversation, but he was very offended by. So, I will be careful. We'll see if I can get anything out of it, but I won't push it. But yes, he's always there. He is always equally in the dream world and in the real world. Neither fully in one of them. Not fully in either. Whatever. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
So as you guys begin to find your positions around various places within this magical manor, you take the time to get comfortable and in a good space to meditate. And as several of you begin dipping into the darkness, we'll go ahead and end our session there. So thanks so much for hanging out, guys. We made a little bit of progress, talked about things that have been put off to be talked about for a long time. And soon approaching is a day where they must come to a head with their eldritch counterparts. Till then, we love you, and remember, we did it for the rolls.
We did it for the rolls.
Good night.
Good night.